All right, here's George. I'm very glad you won that fight, Matt, but I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.
Back when I started my channel, there were really two things wrong with DC Comics. Like, DC Comics was hot. Almost everything that they were producing at the time was really good. Basically, it was anything Tom King was writing and anything Brian Michael Bendis was writing. And I've certainly done a lot of videos on both of those writers and some of their failings as far as Superman, Batman, Heroes in Crisis and whatnot. But I don't know. I keep reading these creators and talking about them on my channel because they need to be gone. They're so bad for DC Comics. They're so bad for DC Comics characters, and they're really the worst for readers. Just the amount of money wasted on anything that Tom King is writing these days is just, it's mind-boggling. And he did it again. We're on issue 10 of Strange Adventures. This series has been treading water for 5 or 6 issues, where it's basically, you're getting this story about Adam Strange on Rand fighting the Picts, and then you're getting like the modern day story where the Justice League are taken aback by the lengths and the measures that Adam Strange went to while he was on Rand to fight the Picts, even though they've arrived on Earth and they just kick the shit out of the Justice League in Phoenix or something. And you're reading along, you're waiting for this big reveal that Adam Strange is this huge, not only is he a huge war criminal, but he's sacrificed his daughter along the way. That's like the big tease in the very first issue, is there's a picture with his daughter and he can't look at it. She's facing down and something happened to her, and Adam Strange or his wife are responsible. Either way, whichever one did it, the other one's coming for it. So that's the big reveal that we're all waiting for. And we finally get it this week. My goodness. It comes in the form of a letter from Mr. Terrific, who has said, I think almost from the beginning, that he knew exactly what happened, but he didn't know why. And this is what we get. 20 pages of this, of Adam Strange's wife reading this letter, from taking a shower to shitting on the toilet to traveling to meeting the soldiers and everything. 20 straight pages of this letter. Well, maybe not straight. There's some dialogue in between as they do the flashbacks to Rand. And it's just him explaining about how smart he is and how he's seen through the whole facade and he knows exactly what happened. Because there are 3 huge inconsistencies in the story. And it's supposed to be this big reveal. But the problem is, this story has not been building towards this reveal. There aren't really a lot of hints. In fact, now that I see it, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. There was just one of the highlights, I guess, if there's been a highlight, of the recent issues is when it's Superman or Batman. I think it's Batman. And Adam Strange and Mr. Terrific are interrogating this picked soldier. And they're trying to find out why they've changed their strategies and why they're being so brutal on Earth. And it's Adam Strange. And it's because Adam Strange was this huge war criminal on Rand, and he was, annihilating women and children and killing innocent people left and right. It's supposed to make you dislike the character, but if you find out what the Picts have done and the fact that they've never lost and they've taken over 1,000 planets, when the Picts show up at your planet, you do whatever you have to do to win. So I'm sitting there like, I'm supposed to not like this guy. It feels like he's probably doing what he has to do to get him to leave. And the big reveals are, number one, that it makes no sense with the record of what the Picts have done that Rand would have ever been able to thwart their attack or not be taken over. There's no way that Adam Strange ever could have led an army to defend that planet from the Picts. They weren't strong enough, and they never should have been able to outlast him and claim victory. So that's an inconsistency. And certainly we've seen Adam Strange, take his licks along the way. It's been quite boring. The art's been fantastic from Doc Shaner and Mitch Gerrits, but the story's been mundane and boring for quite some time. The second big reveal is during the defense of Phoenix, Batman's defense strategy was flawless. There was literally no way, no matter what the Picts did, despite being this amazing army that's never been defeated, and the fact that they lost on Rand, could have never happened, that they couldn't have penetrated Batman's defense, strategy. It couldn't be done. Mr. Terrific studied it inside and out. There was literally no weakness whatsoever. So something's going on. And the third big reveal is in the Strange Adventures novel that Adam Strange wrote in the beginning, essentially saying he lost his daughter during the war. There's a quote from the Bible, and in the Bible, that quote that is used, which is only a few words, but okay, clearly does not reference like a loss of a child. It references the impact that an enemy has on you. So when he says, he lost his daughter to a war, and like he'll miss her for eternity or something like that, he wasn't talking about her dying. Like, he's known all along that she was alive. And he's pieced it together that Adam Strange traded Earth for Rand. He told the Picts, if you leave Rand, I'll give you Earth. I'll go there and convince them that I'm the hero of this war. Everyone will trust me, and then I'll be able to, break through Batman's defense of Phoenix. And that's the big reveal. And the Picts have Adam Strange's daughter. I think her name's Ileana or Lania, something like that. We've been waiting 10 issues for this. This could have been explained in issue 3 or 4. We've literally been doing nothing for half a year, waiting for a big reveal that could have happened far earlier. I did a video earlier about the art of storytelling in comic books being, the craft has been lost. And Tom King is absolutely he and Brian Michael Bendis are exhibits A and B. They've just lost the craft of actual storytelling. This is written for the trades. It's a miniseries, whatever. Okay, just write one long-ass story, but it's got to be exciting. There's got to be something happening. And if you're going to have the big reveal, it better be impactful and mind-blowing. And all of a sudden you had hints along the way, and it all makes sense now that I've got this information. But it doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. And then the story that he's been telling never led us to this point. Mr. Terrific just decided to tell you in the exposition what's happened. He could have done that a long time ago. Like, it's so bad. It's $50 down the toilet for this comic series just to get to issue 10. And there's another $10 to spend so you can get to the end. And in the end, like, what has Adam Strange done wrong? The Picts had never been defeated. His wife, his child, and their family were going to die. He knows Earth's there, defended by the strongest heroes in the galaxy. Defeated so many cosmic level threats and gods and everything. They never lose. So he said, go fight those guys. I'll make you a deal. Probably did the right thing. Go send them over there so they can kill them. They won't be a threat anymore. And this idea, Adam Strange, throughout this entire book, he's had some successes along the way, certainly when he's been at his most savage. But he's never like this strategic military mastermind that's got the Picts in the palm of his hands and he's controlling the war. The whole time you're like, how the hell does he win this thing? Because he's getting his ass kicked for the most part. When push comes to shove and it's a one-on-one challenge, he wins. But otherwise, he's losing all along the way. How would he ever be able to devise any type of weakness in Batman's strategy anyway? Like, none of this stuff makes sense. And it's just, my goodness, Tom King, can you go fuck off? I've heard rumors that this next Supergirl story is it for Tom King at DC Comics. Can't come soon enough for him to go fuck off. Can't come soon enough for Brian Michael Bendis to go fuck off and go write somewhere else where they can destroy their own fucking characters and bore the shit out of people that actually want to read this stuff. It's so terrible. If Tom King were writing for Image, IDW, Dark Horse, whatever, I wouldn't even read his books. I wouldn't put him on the channel, but he's supposed to be like their big, A-list comic creator at DC Comics. And he's just the worst. If you've been reading Rorschach, what the hell is that comic book about? It is one of the worst written stories I've ever read in my life. It's just scenes happening. There's no transition between them. You don't know why he's interviewing any of these people. Sure, this investigator gets information. The last issue. Not quite 20 pages of this, but goddamn close. So boring. And he decides to use this, more of a movie trope where maybe you have three people telling a story and then the voices dub over each other as they transition from the witnesses, and they're all telling the exact same story, like verbatim, as the interrogator or the investigator and the crowd at once realize they're in fucking cahoots. There's no way their stories could all be this aligned. It doesn't work on paper in static images. It's just boring. Yeah, like there was a time when Tom King was a damn good comic book writer. When he was writing Vision over for Marvel Comics. When he wrote the Swamp Thing Winter Special for DC Comics. I'm told his Superman comic book that he wrote for those 100 or 80-page giants that had the Superman by Tom King. I think Brian Michael Bendis did Batman kind of stuff. I'm told that Superman's good. I don't trust Tom King at this point. But my goodness, even his Batman started out pretty promising before he completely shit the bed and and ruined his reputation on Batman. And then he got 35 issues just to confirm that not only was he just a spent item at DC Comics, and you're just waiting for that time when he's going to get something back. And it always starts out pretty good, except for Heroes in Crisis, which I thought was shit from the beginning. The first issue or two of Rorschach are interesting. Okay, this is engaging. We got a mystery here. What's going on here? And it just drags and drags and drags. You're like, where is this even going? Oh, Frank Miller's Rorschach. Exciting. I think it's supposed to be a commentary on the shitty state of comics. Funny enough, who's contributed more to that in mainstream comics than Tom King and Brian Michael Bendis? Like, my goodness, who, Jason Aaron, maybe? Like, God, take your own temperature here, buddy. Look at your own report card, because you have been sucking. Even the first few issues of Strange Adventures are interesting, a little bit engaging, and then the story just stops. And he's just treading water till he gets to the end. If you don't have 12 issues of story to tell, don't tell it in 12 issues. Tell it in 6, or however many you need. Heroes in Crisis was awful. In 3 issues too long. There's so much filler in that stupid story. It's like, God, what is wrong with DC Comics that they can't get these fucking creators and their egos in check? I mean, like, listen, you don't have 12 issues of story to write. You have 6 or you have 5. And you sit there, this stuff is expensive. $50, and we're not to the end. In essentially the last half year reading the story, probably longer because I don't think it's been released every 4 weeks. I think there's been some gaps in there. It's just an enormous waste of time. In this enormous snooze fest. And the big reveal is in a 20-page letter being read by a woman on the toilet in a comic book. God. Could you get more fucking pretentious, man? There's all... It's like stupid song lyrics through the whole thing. There's an entire issue of Mr. Terrific and his like Terrific Ball that's quizzing him on world history. And guess what? He gets every answer correct for a whole fucking issue. Mesmerizing stuff. It's like modern art. How could anyone look at this and think there's anything here but complete garbage? Some people just, I don't know, they're just entertained by the most mundane, boring, lifeless, hopeless garbage entertainment you could ever imagine. I can't, my goodness, how does Tom King still have a job? I was hoping that his New Gods movie with Ava DuVernay would take off, launch him in the fucking stratosphere and out of comic books. Unfortunately, that got canceled. Probably fortunately for fans of Jack Kirby and Fourth World and the New Gods. Maybe that we'll get a New Gods movie that's actually good. But from the looks of the Eternals, that's not going to happen for a while because it looks like Marvel completely shit the bed on that one. That's another video. I'm not going to do it, but that's another video. That's another topic. But so Tom King can't launch his own career out of DC Comics. It sounds like DC Comics are going to launch him out after the after the monumental failure that was the last, what is that, year and a half of Batman. Like, how do you fuck up Batman to that degree? James Tynan's got sales to the roof. He's not even telling a really good Batman story. It's just not Tom King Batman. That's the key thing about it. It's not as bad as Tom King's Batman. Where did his talent go? Where did his ability to tell an engaging, thoughtful, like cool comic book story? It's got to be there somewhere. I think he's just doing it because he didn't like the criticism and he wants to prove everybody wrong. But he's really just proving the point over and over and over. Like, you don't even got it, man. You need a sabbatical or something. Get your head straight. This is fucking boring and monotonous, and it's fucking $40 so far in Rorschach. What's that story about? What's this Strange Adventure supposed to be about? Whatever. Tom King's the worst. I hope the rumors and some of the back channel stuff I'm hearing is true, and that Supergirl is the end of it. He's fucking gone. He can't come soon enough, and hopefully Bendis only gets a 12-monther on Justice League before they jettison his ass out. There's some less than ideal writers at DC Comics, and none of them have reached the levels of overstaying their welcome like Bendis and King have at DC Comics. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you love Tom King and his work, tell me where I'm wrong, because this is mundane, fucking pretentious bullshit comics. I'm telling you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.